Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for America's favorite game. Is that character name from Megalopolis, Starship Troopers 3, or a Spanish telenovela? We're welcoming our guests this week, the movie guys, Paul Preston and Adam Witt. Paul Preston, Adam Witt, how are we doing?
I'm here to lose that game.
I'm here to say, what was the question?
So, we'll do a quick practice round. So if I say Johnny Rico, you guys say...
Okay.
Wait, what were the three movies?
Oh, right. Okay.
It's Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
Oh, Johnny Rico's Starship Troopers. Yeah, Starship Troopers. Yes.
Or a telenovela.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
So let's see here. So Johnny Rico's. We'll skip over that one. Let's go for Cesar Catalina. Cesar Catalina, is that Megalopolis? I'm gonna butcher the name of this movie over and over again. Megalopolis. Starship Troopers.
Oh, just
3,
wait till Megalopolis fights Godzilla.
Right? Cesar Catalina.
Bring back Jet Jaguar.
Punch. I'm going with telenovela for that one.
That's a good guess.
Or my new name when I stay in hotels and I don't want to be mobbed by fans.
My mic crapped out just in time to not answer that one.
Yeah.
Cesar Catalina? What was it?
Cesar Catalina, yes.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh, good guess.
Good guess.
Oh, wait, that's not one of the three? Oh.
By the way,
we never knew his last name.
Mike, Bethany, Juicer, we're all playing here, so...
I'm thinking...
I already looked it up.
I looked it up. Cheater. I'm going telenovela.
Nope, that is the star of the Francis Ford Coppola film.
Wow.
Megalopolis.
Fantastic.
It's played by Adam Driver. So we're going to go on to our next one. We're going to go
that movie better already.
I finally watched that teaser today. Sent it to Adam with the words, "This is definitely from the director of One from the Heart." You look at it, you're like, and you've seen One from the Heart, and you get like, oh, this is Coppola's back in Passion Project territory, which is great.
Director of Jack, Francis Ford Coppola.
Not Passion Project territory.
Next name on the list, we're going with Enolo Feed.
Enolo Feed.
Troopers on this one.
I'm gonna go.
I don't think so.
For no reason, just cause.
I'm gonna go Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Good answer.
Oh wait,
Good answer.
I keep picking ones not from the list, but I'm not wrong.
I was going to go Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Telemundo.
I'll go with telenovela.
Telenovela.
Nope, that's Starship Troopers 3. Right.
Oh, see, I didn't hear you. You said the third one.
Which you know very well.
Simply Starship Troopers 3. We're going into uncharted territory.
They made three of those? Is that from the producer of Jarhead 5?
This is the only other one with Casper Van Dien. Is the third one.
The Mark of
Don't ask about Starship Troopers 2. So we're going to go with now.
We don't talk about that.
Bull Brittles. Bull Brittles. Is that Megalopolis? Once again.
That's my vote.
Beau Brittles. Beau Brittles, I believe, doesn't he host isn't he a commercial pitch man for hotels in Utah?
No.
Hi, Beau Brittles here.
It is.
I'll go telenovela for that one.
It is telenovela actor Stelio Savante as Bull Brittles in Starship Troopers 3.
Wow.
Right.
That is amazing.
If you could have found one with all three, that would have been amazing.
That was really impressive. I won't lie.
We only have time for two more. We only have two more. Next one after Bull Brittles is Wow Platinum. That's the name
Please
of
be
the character.
Megalopolis. Yes, I'm going Megalopolis.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with
Please.
Megala. I got to go with Adam just because that would make us happy.
That'd be so great.
Bonus point if you can get the actor or actress.
Oh, it is Megalopolis.
Paul Rust.
No clue.
What's the
Yeah.
character?
I just saw the trailer. Who else is in that?
Wow, Platinum.
WoW Platinum.
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson.
Tommy Wiseau.
Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza is WoW Platinum and Megalopolis.
Okay.
The
And
movie
we'll go
gets
with
better and better.
We're gonna go with one more. We're gonna go with Celeste Ortiz.
That's a real
Telenovela.
Now I have to say, we're not.
Ortiz.
We haven't started the show yet. Is that right?
No,
Correct.
this is
All right. Okay.
all cold open.
This is all just the cold open, yeah.
This is like a Raising Arizona-esque pre-credit sequence.
Yeah.
Raising Arizona. There's
I'm gonna go. You know, you're setting us up for Ortiz, so it's a telenovela. But I'm on to you, and I'm not falling for it. I'm going with Starship Troopers 3.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like good answer. Good answer.
Nope. Sadly, that is the telenovela, but oh my god, Megalopolis, everybody.
You ended with a bullseye? All right.
We had to get one.
Yeah,
Try and
wrap up-
fool
gotta
us
wrap
on the
up
way
the
out.
Yeah.
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
It's 2 minutes for roping.
I like that. You're a jabroni.
Ladies and
Nailed it.
gentlemen, it's
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday night. It's What the Show. My name is AJ Lancaster. I'm one of your co-hosts, and we do not talk about Starship Troopers 2 here.
Is that yes?
It's because it's the Highlander 2 of Starship Troopers movies.
Apparently.
Essentially, yeah. Is
Sounds
Highlander 2 the
quickening.
fascist one, or okay?
The slowing.
We are the deacons. With us, as always, is the one, the only Justin the Juice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Justin!
Ready to
And we
talk
yeah.
So we came up
movie
with
one-liners.
the concept for this show came up in a group chat, and we're like, this sounds like a What the Show that needs to happen. And immediately the first thing that popped into my head, we need Paul and Adam for this one. So welcome back, What the Show Heroes Hall of Fame members,
That's true.
the movie guys, Paul
And they're
Preston and Adam Witt.
And there with John Williams, so it's a high honor.
Honored.
And our
Absolutely.
favorite baseball player,
Good Scott.
Scrooge Scott. Scrooge Scott. With us
It's
all.
my pleasure to pop into your head.
I'd like you in your opening because you don't have a drop shadow on your text. It says "What the Show," but you kind of can't read "the" in the sun. So even just "What Show" also makes sense.
And man, there's a show.
We can rebrand.
As I
Drop
Have you ever
the
thought of
the.
adding an exclamation point and a question mark to the end of your title?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing the Who Framed Roger Rabbit thing.
That's what Lionel Hutz would do. He
Yeah.
would go, what? That's a show.
A show?
Why you haven't asked a question here? I don't even know how to respond, other than a lawsuit.
So what is the concept of today's show? Oh, this is for the audience.
Yeah,
All right.
just for anyone who's tuning
So-
in.
One of the I'm a humongous Simpsons fan. I think anybody who's ever watched the show is well aware of that. I have a leg full of Simpsons tattoos, and
Oh, really?
I do.
What are you
Here.
just going to
I
tease
mean,
us with
yeah,
that?
we need
Thank
to
you.
see
Get
those.
it up here.
Oh, we're about to get a full
Oh
leg.
my God, what do we got here?
I can't really see
Wow.
all of it.
I have.
Believe me,
so
it's there.
I have Chewbacca wearing the Homer is a dope shirt. I have Kodos. I have Hank Scorpio, the Space Coyote, and I also have Mojo the Monkey.
Struggling to breathe.
Oh, Hank
Permanent.
Scorpio's the best. The
Favorite-
legend, Albert Brooks. Yes.
We do get stopped sometimes in airports. People are just like, yo, dude, is that whatever? Or, oh, man, I like yours. So it's a great conversation starter.
I'm due for a year-long rewatch of The Simpsons, I think.
It's gonna take you longer
You
than
don't
that.
even need a year though. You just need to get to the first 9 seasons, and then you can stop there. maybe continue with the Halloween specials, but
Might I disagree? Since you have Disney Plus, it ain't no thing to just pop on and see what they're doing these days.
Right.
And it's in the last couple seasons, they did a 2-part thing called a Simple Flanders, and it's a total balls out takedown / not takedown. It's an homage. It's basically a Coen Brothers, P.T. Anderson 2-episode series of The Simpsons that ranks among the very best things I've ever seen on there.
Never
It
seen
is
it. It's incredible.
so
And-
funny.
yours is an opinion when it comes to something like this I will take seriously. So
Yeah,
maybe
well, you love The Simpsons. You haven't seen a Simple Flanders. Highly
Okay.
recommend. Yeah.
There you go. The more
Okay.
you know.
Can I tell you a favorite Simpsons story related?
My favorite Matt Damon story, very briefly.
Can I tell you my favorite Matt Damon story really briefly? But I was at someone's house who was throwing a Halloween party, and they were showing all of the Simpsons Halloween specials on the wall. So I walk into the room, and their size of the wall is my favorite Simpsons joke, which is the Jury of the Damned.
yes.
I laughed for a straight hour after the punchline to Jury of the Damned, which of course is Benedict Arnold, with Lizzie Borden. They name off of the thing, and then the final, the final punchline. They have all these things, and then the 1976 Philadelphia Flyers, and that punchline is so, and they all pop up. It's like 4 people, and then all of the Flyers. That is such a good joke, and like a rule of 3s, a rule of 5s type joke or whatever. And I walk into the room, and I don't know who my friend knows, and there's someone else who's watching it with me. I'm watching it, and I go, "Oh, this is one of my favorite jokes of all time." And so then we're waiting, we're watching it, and the 1976 Philadelphia Flyers, and I crack up, and it was hilarious. And I look over at him, and he goes, "I directed that episode." I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
That was crazy, and I was like, "Well, I guess that's why you moved to Hollywood." So.
You're like, wow, well, good work.
Damn.
I'm sorry, good work.
Well, if we're going around the room, my favorite is a Halloween episode where Flanders is a zombie and he's attacking the I'm talking about. He's attacking the Simpsons, and he's like, "Hey there, neighbor, can I chew your ear?" And Homer goes, "Get back!" and he shoots him. And Bart says, "Dad, you shot Zombie Flanders. He was a zombie."
Yeah.
If we're going to the Halloween ones, like I don't think it gets too much funnier in 6.5 minutes than Time and Punishment, where Homer inadvertently turns his toaster into a time machine and just keeps doing the Sound of Thunder, where he keeps going back in time and screwing up the current timeline. And
Right, yes, amazing.
he finally gets back to one where he's like, everything is perfect, and he asks for a donut, and they're like, "What are donuts?" And he screams, and he starts to get it starts raining, and it's raining donuts.
It's so good. What are donuts?
I mean, it's just, you could go on. The baseball one where Mr. Burns hires all the professional players for the softball team and at the factory. I mean, just
There we go.
Well, not that one, but yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna say that's my favorite.
it's
They are
impossible to give more than 100%. Yeah.
They have a small little placard in the Baseball Hall of Fame, actually. So if you go to visit Cooperstown,
nice.
the Simpsons softball episode actually has a little monument in there.
Oh, that's incredible. That's awesome.
Good, as it should be.
So maybe going back on track a little bit. Very famous, funny one-liner in Simpsons history is the beloved Lionel Hutz, who is portrayed by Phil Hartman. The best inept lawyer you'll ever find, Lionel Hutz. And he tells Homer that this is something as frivolous as his, the exact line is that he has a lawsuit pending against the producers of the Neverending Story for false advertising. So if Lionel Hutz was still around today, what other movies would he go after?
What other movies would Lionel Hutz? So you're saying that's the premise of the show?
Oh, what others?
That's
In 14 minutes.
That's our bag. What others?
Yeah. What other? Paul, what other?
What other movies based on board games have they, greenlit?
Slinky.
Yeah, we're big on what other.
soon. Yeah. What other?
Big Battleship fans around here?
I think that's when we did that joke. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Other
that
games.
was when we did it for.
Michael Bay's Hungry Hippos, etc. We just did a whole bunch of
We
nonsense.
went down that. That episode's still on YouTube, so yeah, I'd be curious what all our jokes were. But yeah, Slinky movie and Uno and
All right, how do you want to do this?
Wow.
We're just going to kind of go in a circle. Let's start with our guests, like Paul and Adam. I know both of you, you're always ready for this kind of stuff. So let's start. Paul, let's start with you.
Well, I have one that is like no joke. Like I really have a problem with this one. Like I could make a joke, like Lionel Hutz, or I could go, "This really is a stupid title." So, but you want me to start with that one, or do you want me to be the finale?
Dive in.
All right. Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones. They didn't attack,
Fair.
and they're good guys.
Yeah.
The title doesn't make any sense.
No.
It sounds fun to say Attack of the Clones, Attack of the Clones, Attack of the Clones, but it doesn't. And I'm suing Lucasfilm for their.
you can't
Gross.
put out a movie with Attack of the Clones in the title where the clones don't attack and they're the good guys.
Why they attacking the third one? It turns out. Yeah. So
True.
That is
That
fair.
would have been a more apt title for Revenge of the Sith. They do actually attack there.
the Phantom Menace, you don't know who's behind everything. Turns out it's Palpatine, right? And then the Revenge of the Sith. Well, yeah, because it's their big get up on all the good guys. But yeah. And then oh, wait a minute, that's the other one that I love so much. The opening of an episode. Oh God, I mean, just the opening of the episode where Krusty is at the. It's Krusty's Comedy Classics, and it says KKK behind him. He goes, "Great to be back here at the Apollo." Fruit, vegetables, just so funny. But anyway, so that's the one I would sue. I mean, it just.
I'll second that.
I don't know what else you're going to come up with there, but Clone Army.
Get to the movie.
Good guys. So you got to come up with something.
Obviously, there's one lawsuit that we've all wanted to sue the creators of this movie for a long time, Paul, and I think you'll agree with me. Rambo 3 is not the third Rambo movie. Rambo 3 is the second Rambo movie and the third First Blood. False advertising.
Good point.
That is totally fair. My end.
So they went back though and they fixed that because they made Rambo eventually.
They did. They made
Not Rambo eventually. That's
And
not
I'm
the name
suing
of
that
it.
movie too because the fourth one's just called Rambo.
It's Rambo, and then it's John Rambo.
John Rambo, and then Last Blood. Okay, that's the only one that stands.
So far.
So far.
By the way, you want to hear a really funny story adjacent to the movie Last Blood?
Yes.
Of course.
Paul, it was you and I that went to go see Last Blood, right?
I'm looking it up. I forgot it was a thing. Oh my God.
It's the
Okay,
one
good.
that's the super R-rated version of Home Alone at the end.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And who would you want to see
Oh,
do
yeah.
First Blood do Home Alone more than John Rambo?
Yeah.
So Paul and I go to see Last Blood, and in the theater, we're walking down the hallway, and we at first walked past it because
I remember this. Yeah.
the big lit up poster thing was out. And so we didn't see, and then the doors were such where you go, oh, wait, is that the poster for that movie or that movie? And one of them was out, which could lead one to enter Last Blood instead of, say, a romantic comedy.
Right.
So we watched the entire movie up until about the last 20 minutes, the Home Alone sequence.
Yeah.
And people start coming in, and you're like, who the hell enters a movie this late? Not thinking about the poster light being out and there being obvious confusion. And people keep coming in and sitting, and they're walking in front of us and stuff. We're like, I'm trying to enjoy the end of Last Blood, and these people are. And then all those people start seeing all these heads rolling and heads getting blown off and blood and everything. And then all those people start getting up and leaving. It was only after the movie we're like, oh, all those people thought they were going to see, and I can't remember what movie they thought they were going to see, but it's fair.
So that came out like 2018 or 2019. So something in that.
Yeah, I wonder what.
Yeah,
what-
it's
It was
19,
like
yeah,
Mamma
just looked it
Mia
up. Yeah.
2 or something. I mean, it was like, I think it was like Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again or something. It's like,
Not
No,
Meryl
that's fantastic.
I'm
Yeah.
confused.
in fact, I think I have that right, Paul. I think that was the other movie that was playing in the next theater. I think it was Mamma Mia 2.
Was it? Yeah.
Let's look up when Mamma Mia.
It's
2019.
But to be
released for
fair,
that.
Rambo also does say the phrase "Mamma Mia, here we go again" in Last Blood.
That's true. And that's a part of my lawsuit.
That did come out in 2018, so it's very likely it
I
could have
think
been.
that's what it was.
That's
I'm
funny.
glad I can now remember the Repeating
funny, well, not funny for the people there, but the best
July
wrong
20th.
movie thing ever. We used to run movies where we'd run the kids' movies during the day and the adult, the R-rated movies at night on the same screen. And my projectionist one morning was not paying attention, and instead of VeggieTales, played Saw.
Oh, wow. And got fired.
Fine.
Here's what opened the same day.
VeggieTales. That's
as-
the funniest thing you could play instead of VeggieTales, and the funniest thing you could play instead of Last Blood is Mamma Mia 2.
However, I think Mamma Mia was a summer movie. Rambo came out in March, the
Oh.
same weekend as Downton Abbey. So I think that's your winner right there.
Also, the funniest other thing you could
That's
do.
just as good.
Dane Mackie Smith. Oh, this is not the Dowager Countess.
Amazing.
Not the Dowager Countess.
Excellent.
Great. Juice, you got one for us?
Yeah, I got a dumb one to kick it off. The movie is called Not Another Teen Movie, but it is in fact just another teen movie.
That's fair.
My client is correct.
Literally teenagers in said movie.
All these people going in to see what they hope is not another teen movie. And who is in this movie cast entirely of teenagers?
Sam Levine and all those other
Oh, that's
What?
right.
guys.
What is this not another church movie about? Is it
Which had a
making fun of-
$0 advertising budget, by the way.
making fun of church movies?
It's
what is-
apparently
what is
a
it?
parody of Tyler Perry movies. It's
Oh.
one of the lowest openings
But-
of all time.
Tyler Perry made it.
So
And
he's
he
poking,
produced it. He didn't make
he's
it.
poking fun at himself. Hey, I like someone who can
It's
have a
with
good
Jamie Foxx
sense of
and
humor.
Mickey Rourke, I think.
There's like
And
decent people.
in its opening weekend in wide release, only made $350,000.
Yep, we're suing that one too for tax laundering. But
I've had this one in my head for a long time. That seems the dirt free my head about him suing Neverending Story. And the movie that definitely does not achieve anything that the title is telling is The Constant Gardener, because that guy stopped gardening at some point.
He stops gardening fairly early.
Yeah, there's barely any gardening in that movie.
My clients were promised a whole bunch of gardening.
Bunch of gardening.
We wanted 2 hours of straight gardening, and we got about 3 minutes.
And it's not, and it didn't say in the title there'd be a lot of gardening. It said constant.
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 To be clear, look up the definition of the word constant. What does it mean to you? Okay.
even the consistent gardener would have flown. But
The occasional gardener.
yeah,
Why? That's
You have to
that's
look
the. I've never wanted to sue a movie that much since the movie Tangled, in her very straight hair.
Yeah, and considering how long it is, it really should have tangled more. She is it is on the ground. It should be dirty. It should be knotted. And it's just perfectly flowing and in a beautiful braid. I call baloney.
And it should be
This
called
isn't-
long straight hair.
Yeah, this isn't hard to do, folks. 4 weddings and a funeral, RoboCop, women talking. This can,
These movies lay out what they're about.
Exactly.
When you go to a RoboCop, you get a RoboCop.
Even more than RoboCop, Super Cop. What
Oh.
we need is a Super Cop.
First line of the movie, right? That was what Mark Caius always said. Yeah, he's like, that's what I need. You walk into
Or-
the movie and it called Super Cop, and the very first line is, "We need a Super Cop."
Or a time cop.
Time Cop.
There can be no argument that movie did not deliver what its title said.
Well, I'm not suing. Clearly, those guys were dumb and dumber. So-
That's fair.
And
I
I'll
got
take
another
that
one.
over- Yeah, go ahead.
It might not be in the popular opinion, but I went to see Dune, and turns out there's a second one. So you can't just call it Dune, and then you have to have you have to call it Part 1.
You
So
do.
for me, that drove me nuts when it was over because I didn't care for Dune, and it went on and on and on, and then they said, "Hey, there's gonna." Then what's her balls turned to the camera and went, "Hey, you think that's it? You think there's a whole lot more where it came from?" And I was like, "What?"
We can go with the exact opposite of that now. We have Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is no longer Mission Impossible.
oh, part 1. Yeah,
Oh, is they gonna name the second one something else?
Something different, apparently.
At least I felt like I knew what I was getting into, Bring on the cliffhanger.
Where you're giving me a cliffhanger and I'm not getting part 2, you're giving me something else?
Yeah.
What gives?
Well, if you didn't say part 1, at the end of that movie, you'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, they got to put part 1 there, right?
At the end, put it on the poster.
To be continued. Oh, that'd be so surprising. Couldn't you? People would be so pissed if they went into Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. At the end of it, they're like, to be continued. You'd be like, what?
Right.
Like,
That's
if
me
you
at
went into a
Dune.
movie that you didn't know was to be continued,
That's me at Dune, although I actually cared for Mission Impossible.
That was
Reckoning.
me with the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse
Second
arc
Spider-
like that. The second Spider-Verse, when it didn't have an ending, that definitely got the reaction, which was funny. I knew it was for part 1, but like 90% of our audience did not.
Yeah, we put in the research.
It's true.
Yeah, I think there were people, casual like movie fans, or casual just everyday people that aren't following the news, thought Avengers: Infinity War was like one, like just Avengers 4
yeah.
or whatever.
That's the point of the crowd too. Yeah.
Or whatever. So not expecting, and then the snap, and it's
Well,
Well,
then we have Endgame, and then we have 11 more movies. I'm suing. I'm suddenly doing John Lovitz as Lionel Hutz. I'm
exactly.
suing.
I don't know exactly what does Lionel Hutz sound like.
It sounds like Phil Hartman.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
Phil
keep
Hartman.
going into John Lovitz.
Well, I can't
But
help it.
he's kind of a John Lovitz-y Phil Hartman.
He
Kinda has a little
is,
bit of
yeah.
that.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, look, those two work
By the
together on
way-
Saturday Night Live.
1994 Street Fighter. A lot of fights in Street Fighter. How many of them take place on a street?
Not many.
This is
None.
a good point.
I'm not going to do that.
Not a
research
single
to
street
answer
fight
your
in
question.
Street Fighter. 1974 Street Fighter with Sonny Chiba. How many of those fights take place on a street? None. Guy's in a Street Fighter. He's an assassin who's trying to recover a kidnapped girl.
That's true.
Now, this
And my
is the one
client,
I would watch.
egregiously,
You gonna say?
You know-
I am staring at a poster that's literally in our office / guest room, and I feel like it's kind of false advertisement because Clerks 2 is called Clerks 2, but they're not clerks in this movie. They work at a fast food restaurant. Who has ever called an employee of a fast food restaurant a clerk?
That's fair.
I don't know any. I've never in my life.
hey, what
Clerks
movies
is the-
don't have a TOO but should?
Yes, I
So
think I have that.
Clerks 2, they add a whole bunch of extra clerks. I mean, if you want to use the term clerks for those sort of people, you would
Yes.
say they've added other clerks.
Yes.
TOO.
Frozen also.
Frozen also.
And so I thought, I didn't. There's one I'm suing because I didn't see the poster. Someone said there's Frozen 2, and I went, well, I'd like to see who else is Frozen. I put down my money. Same damn Frozen people. I'm suing. Sure as I'm John Lovitz, I'm suing.
I'm also going to say I'm going to piggyback off Bethany a little bit. We're talking Mr. Smith over here. There is no character named Amy, and there is clearly no chase in Chasing Amy.
True.
So there is clearly
No one ever chased
clearly
anyone
bluntly
in
wrong
that movie.
advertising in that movie. Sure, some guy may tell a story about it who only talks for 2 minutes in the movie, but there is no real Amy in this movie, and there is clearly no chase. I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to some high-speed movie.
I thought someone was going to run after a lady named Amy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Every
That's
time
a
I've
long
watched that
time.
movie with somebody, it's been like Joey Lauren Adams' character. Is that Amy? No, it's not. You wait.
He's on
you,
the poster.
You wait and you watch.
I got one. The movie Get Smart is not an educational drama. In fact, you actually get dumber.
This is fair.
Just kidding. I love that movie and the 70s show or 60s show.
You should have reached time by now.
Touche.
There have been a lot of those movies. How are we still in the
Isn't
dinosaur
there like
age?
19 or something?
It's
insane how many.
That's dinosaur.
But we're happy to announce by the end of this show, we will have reached the end of time.
Yes, we've done it. Everybody.
Land Before Time. Wait. Land Before Time? How did they determine the running length of that movie? Look, there are many grounds to sue this movie.
Yeah, what
The
is
Land
what,
Before Time, that movie can be infinite. It says right here, Land Before Time, 89 minutes. That is false advertising.
Right. F9, the Fast Saga. That's 2 hours 23 minutes. Could have been faster. It goes on too long. Let's argue with time here.
Well, you want to argue with time? Let me give you a fun fact right here.
I love fun. Adam, I insist. All my facts be fun. Go ahead.
Let me give you a little, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Let me give you a couple of facts here. The Tyrannosaurus, the Triceratops, and the Velociraptor are from the Tertiary and late Cretaceous periods, not the Jurassic period.
It's true. This is true.
I await the verdict.
I await your verdict. money. Moolah, moolah, moolah. Wouldn't it be funny if the attorney did that? He's like, yeah, money.
Gennaro is coming in here with a very alternative motive in this movie.
Not Jurassic. Definitely not
It's
Jurassic.
clearly not a Jurassic Park.
I knew Jurassic Park.
Well, listen, it's not even a Jurassic World until the third one.
Yeah.
This is true. And is it really a world if it's just one gate? Like, as a theme park nerd, that bothers me. It's still one park. You can't just name it like it's not a world. You have to have multiple gates. Like, I'm just saying, it's one park. It bothers me.
And what about this Lost World? They've clearly found it. I mean, that is clearly.
How else were they going to film it?
This is my biggest pet peeve in all of Jurassic Park. Actually, has nothing to do with any of the movies, but just shocking because there are a lot of pet peeves I could have. But with Universal
Well, look,
Studios,
we have to make this actionable for the jury, but go ahead, lay it out.
yes. But with Universal Studios, who are the people who literally
Universal, located on Earth. But anyway, we won't get started there.
that brought the movie. So this is the studio that literally made this movie, okay? And of course, obviously, they have it in their theme parks. And there's a freaking shirt with a T-Rex on it that says, if lost, it's like, you know, like a wanted shirt with a T-Rex on it. And it says, like, you know, like return him, blah, blah, whatever. But it says him. And it pisses me off because all of the dinosaurs are females. And I don't understand how the freaking theme park of the freaking studio who made the goddamn movie can't get their own facts right.
You are paying attention.
Well, look,
good.
It's a bunch of liars because show me the universal wing on another planet. There isn't any. By the way, I went to go see that movie Free Guy. Cost me $16.
I saw the movie Fall Guy. Came out in the spring.
You beat me to that one. You beat me to it.
You guys have any idea how long the movie 88 minutes is?
I can guess it's a Sue-worthy length.
It's 110 minutes.
Oh my God! What?
Do you have any idea how long the movie 127 hours is?
Got to throw that one out.
Not 127 hours.
I think it's like shorter than 88 minutes.
The movie or the runtime?
The movie. I'm sure it's shorter than the running time of 88 minutes.
That's grounds for a suit.
Grounds for a suit.
We are taking him to court.
Someone gave me the Planet of the Apes trilogy, so I said, well, what should I watch first? Clearly Dawn. I put in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and now wait for them to rise later, and I put it in, and it seems like the origin story. Did they do a prequel? It's all off. I let the whole thing go.
Those movies are named wrong.
Except for the lawsuit.
There is a Bad Boys for Life, which is the third movie. And the fourth one is called Ride or Die.
Oh, I hate that. Fate of the Furious, and there's no 8 in the title. Although I guess they made an alt one, but still, come on.
Well, and there's a
F-A-T-E.
number 4. The 4 life is a number 4 in the title of Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
even
worse.
more infuriating, truly. You're like, this is third.
And I would like to do a class action suit for any movie that is the 5th in a series and goes back to just the one word from the original, like Scream.
Yep.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Include me in that lawsuit.
And I also want to screw. I want to screw them in court. I want to sue Scream 6 because Scream 6, the M is a V and an I, which is very clever. But that means the V was there all along for the previous movie and they didn't use it. Class action lawsuit between both of those movies. Having a 4 in the third movie is a slap in the face.
I saw Big Hero 6, and I didn't know what was going on because I missed the first 5.
Hey.
Only one hero.
Only one hero. I was lied to. False advertisement.
I
That's-
expected 32 movies before Naked Gun 33 1/3, and I was severely disappointed.
Oh, we'll keep going down this road. I want to assume Malcolm 10, right? Because it's very confusing.
I think we should be able to just do Morbius and Madam Web sucking, honestly. But also bless it.
No, you cannot. There's superhero movies that came out in the spring. Those movies suck.
That's
You
true.
should
They
have
did
known
live
to
up-
expect it.
They did live up to their release date.
That might be on you. That might be
Now,
on you.
I don't have more release dates.
I guess you sue the Neverending Story after you see the Neverending Story and you realize it isn't ending. But when I see Friday the 13th, the final chapter, I don't sue immediately because I think we're done. Then the
Yeah.
next one comes out, lawsuit.
Yeah.
Same with Resident Evil.
Yeah, what's
Also,
up? It's
I would
the-
like to sue Godzilla -1 and Godzilla times Kong because I don't think that math works out. I think that comes out to -1 Kong, I think.
the
I don't know.
math
The point is, if you're going to a movie to see King Kong or Godzilla, you didn't come to do math, okay?
It's true. I just want to see monsters fight each other, okay?
Just
Yeah.
I want to see a suplex.
I would like to make a case that the king of Staten Island, there is no king of Staten Island, just the douche of Staten Island.
Maybe they thought that title wouldn't sell.
Hmm.
Although obviously
Yeah,
they thought that
probably-
casting would.
Could have used it.
Okay.
What was the layout?
Jungle Book.
Speaking of monsters,
Turns out it's a movie. Anyway, go ahead.
don't tell me I'm going to read in the theater. Audiences don't come for that. But I'll tell you what was very falsely advertised: Monsters Ball. That's a better title for that Adam Sandler Dracula movie, don't you think? That's what should happen in a movie
Oh.
called Monsters Ball.
Yeah, but then when it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm either expecting a ball of monsters, like a ball, or
Yeah, a ball.
Like a
Like
kind of
what you look-
machi.
Like that Adam Sandler one.
Monsters Ball could have been like the sequel to Teen Wolf, because they're playing basketball and
Oh, see, no sport played in it either. So this is false advertising on a number of fronts. There's a number of things we come to expect, and I haven't, and I will cite my case against Space Jam because there is no preservatives or bands playing in that movie Space Jam.
Yeah,
You know what
I did
Space
not
Jam could have
see-
used? The Allman Brothers.
Right.
I think they were in the second one,
Neptune.
though.
Okay, so we've got
Probably. It depends if Warner Brothers owns the Allman Brothers. Probably is the correct answer on that one.
So we all know Frankenstein isn't the big green guy with the bolts in his head. That's Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein is the
Correct.
doctor. But when I go to see Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, I think they're going to some dinner with the doctor to discuss medical practices. Turns out it's the guy with the bolts in his neck. And I was
They
sorely
never meet
disappointed.
Frankenstein. Yeah, they only
Yeah.
meet Frankenstein's monster.
Thing can be said to the Bride of Frankenstein, and you think she's marrying this
Yeah,
doctor? Nope.
I would have been so happy for him, but yeah.
he deserves.
He deserves
it.
love.
He deserves love. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean,
I
if
don't
we're
know.
going to do Frankenstein's monster, then I, Frankenstein, just come on.
I Frankenstein? No, I was
Yeah.
not. You could sue that movie right there. You're saying I'm Frankenstein? Well, I take that offensively. You Frankenstein. The movie should be called You Frankenstein.
That's what I pay for. They didn't pay for me to be
I didn't pay for
Frankenstein.
me to. I paid for you to be
I
Frankenstein.
want to
The
watch
movie
it.
should be called You Frankenstein. Me Jane. Me Tarzan.
Speaking of Tarzan,
I was.
the movie the movie Swingers, not a Tarzan movie, nor something
Oh,
that you watch in incognito mode.
I think you have a very good lawsuit there. There's a lot of lack of swinging in that movie, Swingers, and a lot of
Yeah,
people
no
going
swing sets.
for the topic you're talking about.
Yeah, and no go. And instead, you just get a really dull movie where nothing happens, and they just say, "Here's the money movie." You don't even know it, and you're like, "What is the purpose of this movie?" And then you're like, "Oh, boys who were teenagers in the '90s. That's why."
They made Wayne Gretzky's head bleed.
Nobody cares unless you were a teenage boy in the '90s.
It's honestly a good one that I'm surprised we haven't gotten to.
Your Honor.
Clearly.
Well, it's one thing to go and see, right? You see a trailer. Trailers nowadays give everything away, right?
Yeah.
They're running scared. The studios want you to see the movie so bad that they'll even tell you how it ends, right? So just look, your money is safe. I don't want you to think this is a risk. Spend the money, see our movie. Here's everything you need to know, even how it ends. But when you spoil the movie in the title, Saving Private Ryan, I'm out. I'm suing.
It gets worse, Paul, because John dies at the end.
True.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
they
John dies
were-
in the first act, and he's alive at the end of the movie.
Oh, so it's not a spoiler.
Hmm.
It's a
No.
spoiler, but then if you're one of those
A
people who
lot.
needs to be coddled and is like, I know what to expect at least, and then they do that to you.
So yeah, John dies like 20 minutes in. You're like, oh, we're about to wrap it up. Nope. I got another like hour and a half of like non-linear bullshit. Love this movie.
And I don't
Also,
want
by
to
the
blow
way,
the
the
ending.
movie should have been called Paul Giamatti is Black at the end because that was the twist.
Spoiler alert for the jury who may not have seen it.
Yeah, the jury has not seen this yet.
This movie came out 13 years ago.
And I don't want to
I know.
spoil.
No one saw it
Here.
then.
I don't want to spoil the ending of another movie for the jury, but I think it's crucial for this class action lawsuit against movies. That if they haven't seen the movie Unstoppable, I'm about to spoil the ending of this movie, and this is a grounds for suit. This false advertising. At the end of that movie, the train is stopped.
It sure is. It sure is.
See,
Yeah.
Silver Streak didn't have to deal when the train stops in that. It's fine. But it was
Yeah, it's called Silver Streak.
We didn't
Yeah.
expect it wasn't called like Never Gonna Stop Train movie.
Yeah, a half hour in, they go, hey, let's get on the Silver Streak. You're like, we have title. Okay, I'm very satisfied with that. There's no promise that, this train ain't ever stopping. I mean, theoretically, how long would that movie be? But I understand people realize there's run times, but still, I think that is false advertising.
It stopped. I agree.
And I would like to get a movies back because there's false advertising in the movie The Jerk. He's not a jerk. He's a dummy. He's kind of a doofus. But a jerk? No, a jerk would be like you could name the movie Wall Street The Jerk.
Yeah.
Do you think Doofus would be a better... Look, we're not here to make up new names for these movies, gentlemen of the jury.
But, yeah.
What is that thing?
Doofus is a good name for a movie.
So they have this movie called Speed, and it's about this bus that can't go under a certain speed. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
Yeah.
But then there is a sequel to that called Cruise Control, and that cruise is clearly not under control.
You're correct. It's ironic. Now, I know some people say we can't sue for irony, but
Oh, here, look, Robert Adams just commented, Speed Cruise Control is probably his favorite comedy.
No?
well, I got to admit, it's very funny.
One of the
Have you guys
first
seen the
movies
new
Adam and I
Roadhouse?
saw together.
Oh. Quite a
Yes.
shock.
Paul and I, talk about the summer that would stop this plan. Paul and I, when we met, we said, we love summer movies. Summer's coming up. Let's go see a movie together. And then after we saw Jurassic Park: The Lost World, we said, let's see every movie this summer on opening night. And so we endeavored to do that. But that sort of fell off around Speed 2 Cruise Control when the summer started getting a little because we really busted our ass. I went from work, I got in a cab, I dropped by Paul jumped in the cab, and we made it. We spent, and we sat down. The trailer's just ending, and then you got to watch that movie. You're like, we went through all this effort. Give me a break.
Sorry, are you saying, AJ?
Oh, have we seen the new Roadhouse?
No.
I know.
Okay, so Roadhouse in the
I would
sequel.
love to.
There's no Roadhouse.
No, they took
No,
the road and
really?
the house out of Roadhouse.
There's a beach house. There's a beachside bar called Roadhouse, but it's not a Roadhouse.
Do people fight at beachside bars?
Apparently, it's something I learned in this movie.
So it's like Cocktail with MMA.
Yeah, it's exactly Cocktail with MMA.
That was its working title.
Yeah. They had to latch on to
crew parking, to see it on the
that Gen Z IP that's hip with the kids, so they got Roadhouse.
Very hip with the kids.
I like those movies. They're just too loud for me. I like to sit down with a nice, calm movie. I like All Quiet on the Western Front. I put that in. I figure I'm going to relax for 2 hours, and that's why I'm suing. You understand?
Oh, it's not quiet. No, it's
Why I haven't been this upset at a movie since I went to go see 2021 Snake Eyes and found no Nicolas Cage. It was the most upset I'd been since I went to go see the Nicolas Cage Snake Eyes, no G.I. Joe.
Boy,
I really did used to have a pet peeve when a movie would be named a pop culture character, like the movie Nightcrawler, and I'm like, Nightcrawler's not in that movie.
I thought about
There's a movie called Colossus, and I'm like, it's not about Colossus. Used to really upset me. I mean, it's such a tease. You're like, they made a Nightcrawler movie, even though I know what Nightcrawler is every time I see that title. But still, in the back of my kid head, I'm like, oh, he's got his own movie. I know.
Could you imagine if, third act of that movie, Jake Gyllenhaal teleports?
Be the best. It'd be the best. It'd be the best if the last act of that movie is he gets superpowers and can teleport. You're like, oh, we did it.
I think it'd have a very different ending.
Yeah.
Bamf.
It just becomes the beginning of X2. Just goes right into X-Men 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Play them back to back.
The movie First Man. Indeed, not the first man. Not an Adam and Eve movie.
Yeah.
My clients were promised a biblical epic.
And let the record show that this is an ongoing problem in this industry. We have A Few Good Men, starring Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, and Demi Moore. I submit evidence. Unless there's something we don't know that you'd like to tell the jury.
Well, just a few of them were men, if I may counters.
I saw the poster.
Well, I haven't been that upset since I went to go see The Iron Lady, only to find her donning no armor and fighting no crime.
Iron Giant. Now that delivered.
Now
This
that
Iron Lady.
That's more like The Irony Lady.
I tune into Life of Pi to see a perfectly good Pixar story about a pie that has adventures, and it's about a guy in a boat with a tiger. But it had just as much animation, so I was slightly happy.
I mean, we've all seen these Pixar movies. You get a whole bunch of types of pies, and they all have different personalities, right? That's what we expect.
They've brought a
the peach
subculture.
pie. Oh, he's got an upset attitude.
They've brought a subculture to life brilliantly once again. And lo and behold, guy and a tiger.
Yet another, this is a great old Steve Lewis joke, was we were talking about these subcultures in Toy Stories, and he goes, you know what they should make? Sex Toy Story. Just a bunch of sex toys who come to life. And he goes, I don't even think they'd have to change the names of the main two characters, Woody and Buzz.
Stephen Lewis, a great movie guy who's left us.
Well, in fact,
one up on the show.
Might I segue into a Stephen Lewis one that occurred to me while we were talking about this? I'd like to sue the movie Red with Morgan Freeman and Bruce Willis, and because when I go see a movie called Red with Morgan Freeman in it, I expect a sequel to The Shawshank Redemption. I don't get any of that.
It's true. Could have been
Yeah,
nice.
boy, if I had a little more time, I would have gone through all the old movie guys' jokes that just called out titles all the time. Yeah, we used to do
Wait,
a lot.
Red
of
was
that
one of them. He
shit.
did a video of that.
I watched Goodfellas the other day. Those guys weren't. I think they might be the bad guys.
These aren't good fellas.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
These are pretty not great fellas when you think about it. Do I have to list off all the crimes to let you know that these fellas weren't so good?
That was clearly Elizabeth Taylor and not an actual cat.
Elizabeth Taylor?
Tin roof. Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought you were talking about my lawsuit, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. in which not only does Virginia Woolf not appear, but nobody turns into a werewolf.
Sure.
You hear
You got-
fear. You hear fear and wolf. Well, I assume it's going one direction. No.
Your Honor, I'm looking for another
Four
good.
people in a room for 90 minutes.
Your Honor, I'm looking for another good tale about the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and Hancock was not it. I'm suing.
So upsetting. The emotional scarring alone.
By the way, guys, just looked up the box office for One for the Money. It lost $13.5 million in the box office.
Oh.
That one was not for the money.
How about Two for the Money? That's is that Katherine Heigl? Or
Yeah, it's One for the Money, Two for the Show.
well, that's an
That's
old phrase.
That's the phrase.
Yeah, there's
We're
a
talking
whole-
about
there's a
part of the phrase, which they'll frequently break apart to name various movies with.
whole-
Two
Like
for the
movies
Money.
1, 2, and Buckle My Shoe.
Okay, there's two for the show in the book series. Anyways, it's a thing. Well, but Two for the Money.
Talking
The
about
Al Pacino movie.
Elizabeth Shue's 2 for the Shoe?
I don't read books. Your Honor.
Two for the Money also lost money.
Well,
Oh.
No.
well, don't put money in the title of because I bet you other people's money and Money Talks also did not make money.
No talking money either.
Yeah, don't put that in. Your
Money
title.
Train? Money Train made some money.
Money Train probably made some money.
Money Plane did not.
No.
Money Plane did not, so see.
Speaking of which,
Oh,
speaking of which, our heroes don't spend a single minute on a plane, and planes, trains, and automobiles. So why did you put it in the title? The plane, they get kicked off the plane. Can you hear my pounding?
Wall Street money never sleeps. Money does not sleep.
I can think of 6 things wrong with that title. Which brings me to the naked lunch portion of this Simpsons joke based thing, which has the great joke. I can think of 2 things wrong with that title. Here's 2 movies I can think of 2 things wrong with. Reservoir Dogs. I can think of 2 things wrong with that title.
Mm-hmm.
Clockwork Orange. I can think of 2 things wrong with that title. I don't know. There isn't an orange in that movie. Nor a clock, I believe.
I don't know
And
what's going on with that title.
There's no reservoir, no dogs.
Mm-mm. I was let down. I was expecting dogs.
So,
Dogs.
as a quick follow up, because we got a few minutes left, throw out movies that Lionel Hutz could not find a loophole in. I have 2. One is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. They got there.
They sure should do.
That movie is a straight dealer, I'll tell you that.
When Harry met Sally, he did. They met each other multiple times, actually, over
This-
years.
Snakes on a Plane.
There were snakes
There were
on a
snakes
plane.
on
A more truthful title you couldn't find.
Yeah,
Maze Runner.
nailed it.
Yep.
Running mazes.
Super Cop, of course. Yeah.
Air Bud. Yeah. I guess, right? That's
Either
that's
way.
his name. Ant-Man, Iron Man, Air Bud. That's if they're the lead.
They're
They did.
they're in there. They're doing the thing.
Speaking of movies with the 2 movies are named the same title. Solo, a Star Wars story. There is also another movie named Solo with Mario Van Peebles from 1990.
Oh yeah, isn't he like a cyborg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's a movie called Solo with Mario Van Peebles. Paul, you know there's a movie called Solo with Mario Van Peebles. The rest of the people on this panel do not, I guarantee. So it's hyper obscure, and I'm at Runyon Canyon. I'm wearing my Solo, a Star Wars story shirt. And a guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, I worked on that movie." And I go, "Solo, a Star Wars story?" And he goes, "Oh, no, I just saw Solo." And I go, "So you worked on the Mario Van Peebles Solo?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, you realize the one person that would fill in that gap.
You made that guy's day.
Right. Really funny. Really funny.
By the way, with the passing of Roger Corman, this entire thing just reminded me of 1954, The Fast and the Furious, in which the Corman family had naming rights to all the sequels, so that's the reason why there isn't the Fast and the Furious 2, and there's Too Fast, Too Furious.
Get the fuck out of here. Is that the real reason?
That is 100% the real reason why those.
Wow,
those
you
sequels
learn
are
something
named
new
that
every day.
way.
That's
That
really
is a fun
cool.
fact.
That
That's
is
a fun fact.
I insist all of my facts be fun. That is good.
That was
Get the fuck out of here. That's fantastic.
Too Furious.
That's really
Also,
good.
I think it makes a great. I like Too Fast, Too Furious personally. It flows better.
Did we cover everything? The chariots weren't on fire. The streets weren't on fire. The wolves weren't dancing. We've done it all. Right?
Brazil takes place in England.
Devil did not wear Prada.
Barbarian, no Schwarzenegger. Highland 2, The Quickening, not at that running time.
The women were all regular sized.
Little Mermaid, 5 feet tall.
Baby was actually like a leopard or something, right?
Breakfast at Tiffany's, you call that a breakfast? By the way, in Breakfast Club, they only have lunch. Anyway.
So
Sean was very much alive. There were no Avengers in Civil War. I think we've covered it all.
The big Greek wedding was not fat.
Nick and Nora's playlist ended.
It ended.
It ended. It sure ended.
There was no Martian. It was just Matt Damon, turns out.
He wasn't even in a suit.
And some potatoes. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
And can you have a War of the Worlds if we're just getting annihilated?
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
Good show, guys. Oh, am I still on? Okay, is it over yet? Oh, still going.
What show?
It's 2 minutes more. All right, so that was a good rehearsal. So then we're going to do it for real now, right?
And if I saw one show and then I saw this show, I
You're a
would not
jabroni.
do.